from Sentient Sessions. Court back in session. I have a message for you. Are you ready for it? I think my camera is a little bit tilted. It's a little bit tilted. All right, there we go. All right. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? I'm feeling, I don't know what I'm feeling. So I'm just gonna start pulling these motherfucking cards and see what comes up. What is the message of the day? What is the message of the day? Okay. Beach. This is a lot of fucking cards. Damn, they just come slow down a little bit. That's definitely me. Spiritual abundance. Proud of you. I had a dream last night, and from the conclusion of my dream, I would say that it was like a good little message that I am doing exactly as I'm supposed to be doing on my path. So we got overworking yourself. We got Scorpio. We got love a girl / boy. Then we got get to manifesting. Focus on concentration. Have faith. You're gaslighting yourself. Ooh, baby, this is kind of a couple cards. We just gonna keep it going. Yeah, you're on the right path. What did I say? Work towards your goals. Initiate with your crush. Divine timing. Bad bitch vibes. Time for redirection. Cancer. Self-forgiveness is key. And I need one more card. But feminine. Oh. Focus on this concentration. I had to focus. Okay, so the song that I was thinking about, focus on this pussy concentration. I needed to take a breath to focus. It's like a little message. I need to focus on the message. Ooh, bitch. Focus on this pussy concentration. 9 of Cups. Oh yeah, I like this message. It's gonna be a good one. It's going to be a good one. We got the 5 of Cups reversed. And then we have the King of Swords reversed. All right. Let's just get up into it. Slow down a little. Spiritual abundance. Proud of you. Overworking yourself. Divine timing. Scorpio. Bad bitch vibes. Proud of you. Lover girl. Lover boy. And then we got the 9 of Cups. Something may be a lot more easier than you're gonna think. Like, something may be a lot more easier than you think it's gonna be. You know, 9 of Cups is essentially like fulfillment. Yeah, it's like an energy of fulfillment. So if you allow yourself to slow down, you get to come up with new solutions, and your solutions are a lot easier than you think. The way that you get things done could potentially be a lot easier than you think it's going to be. Lover girl, lover boy, bad bitch vibes. Proud of you. It's like a really good vibe. For me, my dream was essentially an ancestral message. You know, like my spirit team gave me a little message to dissect. Because that's how most of my dreams come. They come for me to dissect so I could fully understand. For me, something that I was dissecting is that people have a tendency to judge my spiritual beliefs. Even though, again, for me, my understanding of me and my beliefs is that this is ancestral. Like, this is generational. Like, ain't nobody telling me nothing about me. For real. Ain't nobody telling me nothing about me. And ain't nobody gonna make me feel a way about me and the things that I'm capable of and the things that I do, because I owe it to me to prove things to myself, not to anybody else. So it was essentially it gave me a message. And then also, as I dissected the message throughout the day, it was just like, proud of you. Like, I'm walking my path. You get what I'm saying? I know my purpose. I know what I'm doing. I know my life. I know the life I'm creating. I know myself. So me knowing myself, I don't accept projections from anything else. You know what I'm saying? And it feels like this isn't an easy path. You get what I'm saying? That's where that spiritual abundance card is. It's not easy when people are continuously projecting all types of shit onto you because they don't understand you or understand the way that you work or understand the things that you're doing. People will see like a tarot reader or a spiritualist or a herbalist or something like that, and then project that we're mentally unstable, or project that they'll project mental instability onto us. They'll project like this type of like, they'll project like they will demonize us, project, you know. Again, I don't judge people for how they perceive themselves or what they choose to be called. But people will project you being a witch onto you. Like, they'll just project all this weird archaic beliefs or these weird perceptions that only come from their limited view of life. You know what I'm saying? So they will make you feel like what you do is wrong, or that what you're doing isn't real, because they don't understand what you're doing. So you kind of have to deal with that. Like, something I also deal with as someone who shares online is that people be scared of being seen. That's one thing. People be so scared of being seen. People be so scared of being exposed. So like, people will try to silence you. People will try to make you feel like, people will gaslight the fuck out of you till you're like gaslighting yourself. Because if you feel like you're in the wrong, then they get away with the shit that they do. So you kind of deal with a lot of things. It takes a lot of like knowing yourself and being solid in the ways that you feel and the things that you're picking up. So for you to be on that path, especially if you're here watching my channel, then that means that you've deconstructed quite a bit. So if you deconstructed enough where you're solid in the ways that you feel, you're able to understand the spirituality of all of it, like the esoteric, you're exploring things outside of what you see, and you're creating a perception of reality that works best for you, then you deserve a pat on your back, because it's not easy. We come from family lines where we're forced. First of all, I have a bunch of thoughts. I don't judge Christians. I don't judge Christianity. You get what I'm saying? Because I also use a lot of like Christian text for the things that I do. I love the Bible, but I use the Bible because that's something that was taught to me, and that's the easiest way for spirit to communicate with me, through the Bible, through Christian stories and things like that. But Christianity has never served us. Or it's not that it's never served us, it's just that the purpose of us learning the Bible was like, you got to look back. There was a time period, especially if you're Black or you're indigenous, that the only thing you were allowed to read was the Bible. So of course, your mindset has been constructed from generations of being forced and cornered into a religion so that your view of God and what is God is only limited to a certain perception that serves the collective or serves society as it was created to be. So that when it transforms, it still falls in line with the same spiritual beliefs that we were given. So you get what I'm saying? It takes a lot of deconstructing to the fact that I come from an African family that still holds on to African beliefs, but demonizes their own beliefs that came before Christianity. Like, we know the beliefs we had before Christianity. We still, cover it up with Christianity, but we demonize anyone who chooses to explore more of their African beliefs. Like, when I told my mom I was exploring more about like Afro spirituality, of course she gave me the same rhetoric she was probably given because she came from an Afro spiritual household. She grew up in missionary schools. I keep bringing that up because that is something that shapes the way that I have been meant to see religion and see spirituality and see God. My mom grew up in a missionary school in Africa, where people came into her land and told her everything that she believed was wrong. Come on now. Come on now. She could tell us little bits and pieces of her childhood, and we understand, oh, like this was colonization. Like, my mom lived through colonization. So I'm decolonizing, and I choose to because I deserve to. I deserve to tap back into my beliefs. I deserve to understand God for myself, and I deserve to see the world a way that is serving me. I'm not a servant of the world. The world must serve me. My world must serve me. I should create a life that serves me. Because that's essentially what we were taught to be, servants. So to decolonize that shit, you should be proud of yourself. Whatever system you come from. And again, I choose to take on Christianity in a way that serves me and my connection to God, my connection to source. I love gospel. I love the Bible, but because I grew up in the church, it's the easiest way for me to connect. And I also, allow my beliefs to be shaped from that basis. Get what I'm saying? So yeah, but I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of the things that I believe, and I'm proud of my connection to my ancestors. I'm proud of the ways that I've allowed myself to be guided back home. I'm proud of me. I am. So get to manifestation, time for redirection. Have faith, Cancer, you're gaslighting yourself. And then we got the 5 of Cups reversed. So like that is healing, like when something stirs something up in you, it's a redirection because it calls for questioning. We're meant to question ourselves. We're meant to question the way that we perceive things. And again, playing the role of someone who is intuitive or spiritual calls for a lot of questioning. But people would rather not question themselves and question their perception of reality. They'll rather question you. But that's okay. You accept those projections and you actually create a even more, what's the word I want to use? You ground yourself in your beliefs further because you allow yourself to be questioned. A lot of people cannot be questioned about their beliefs. A lot of people cannot be questioned about a lot. They don't have no answers because it was just what was given to them. So find answers for yourself. Find answers for yourself. Cancer. Someone may be a Cancer, lover girl, lover boy. You're gaslighting yourself. Moving on, accepting help. Have faith. Let me put person to sign. Yeah, something to do with a Cancer. You're gaslighting yourself. Okay, so you're probably gaslighting yourself in regards to something You're on the right path. Self-forgiveness is key right now. Work towards goals. Feminine. Initiate with your crush. Also noted, Cancer, Scorpio, they're kind of like on top of each other. There's a Scorpio full moon coming, and that is time for release. And of course, this is not like, I utilize the knowledge of other spiritualists. So there's an astrologist that I really enjoy, and she was talking about the importance of like the Scorpio full moon. It relates back to fall 2021, and I can see how that plays out in my life. You know, there's a couple things that I discovered about myself in fall 2021 that I've had to work through for the past 2 years. 2-3 years, yeah, 2 to 3 years, because things take time. Things take a certain level of dedication to release. So you're on the right path. Self-forgiveness is key. Work towards your goals. Feminine. Initiate with your crush. And then we have King of Swords. I don't know what this is. Someone may need that. Like, it's time for you to initiate with your crush. Then we got work towards. Someone is waiting for you. A video just popped up. Someone is waiting for you to text, call them, desperately wanting to talk. That's what popped up. Somebody else's video, that Silver Eye Rose, her video popped up. So someone has somebody who wants like to talk to them. That was a very interesting way for the message to answer itself. But someone wants you to initiate a woman, work towards goals. But I don't necessarily, like, when I see messages like that, I be like, no. It don't, no. Self-forgiveness is key right now. Especially if it relates to like a 2 years, damn, oh my God. If it relates to like a 2-year cycle or something like that, no. I don't know. I'm very big on leaving the past in the past. Like, if something happened in the past, I don't believe in reigniting shit. I just leave it what it is. It is what it is. And just moving forward. Because at the end of the day, you know, like, what, I don't know. Like, I hold grudges. Like, I hold grudges real bad. That's why I just be, so that for me personally, because this might apply to somebody else. Like, if you want to initiate with somebody from the past, go ahead, do that. Like, you have a crush or something that you want to initiate with, go ahead, do that. But for me, I'm a person who holds grudges, and I hold grudges because I need to learn how to like forgive myself. That's something I actively work on. So the way that I release resentment is to take actions that help me forgive myself for past events. Like, if I end up in a situation over and over and over, I start to really become resentful. And the depth of a grudge I can get into is really bad. Like, I'm not like, for me to hold a grudge is for me to, how do I put this? Like, it's something that I have to work on with myself a lot, you know, because it's not healthy. Being resentful holds back a lot of things from moving forward. So I utilize that energy to help me move forward. I would rather learn the things that help me, that make me hold on to something, than to try to heal a situation. Because at the end of the day, when I hold a grudge, it doesn't matter what happens, that shit is still there. Like, I'm going to feel more resentful if I hold on to a situation that I've been hurt in, or I feel hurt about, or I feel like, you know, a way about. I'm going to feel far more resentful to do that than to let it go. Because if I get resentful, I hate the thoughts that I have, because I feel like I can be a really hateful person when it comes down to it. Like, if I feel like I hate someone, I really want to get away from somebody, because if I hate someone, I can really hate somebody. I feel like I love really deeply, so sometimes like I'm scared to know how deeply I can hate a person. So I'd be like, no, I would rather heal. And healing for me means separation. So yeah, use your creative mind, pour into self-expression. I feel like utilizing the energy of things that have hurt you or have made you feel a way makes it easier for you to really truly heal, like, because you just created something new based off of that. Like that's a form of forgiveness, I would say. Like putting yourself in a new position because of something that's happened, or in spite of something that has happened, is a way of healing. You know how some people, they be like really set on getting revenge, like they be upset so they go and they get revenge. It doesn't help the situation at all, because at the end of the day, if I'm set on hurting, it means that I'm hurting within. So true forgiveness is to maneuver forward. That's what true forgiveness is to me. Like truly forgiving yourself, and then you forgive the situation in whole, because you've done something, you've taken an action that helps you heal the feelings that you hold on to, and you release it, because now you have nothing to blame. I feel like when we get resentful, it's because we're blaming shit for shit. There'd be nobody to blame but ourselves. And that's why, again, self-forgiveness is key. Because if you find yourself continuously blaming other people, is because you blame yourself continuously for some shit. That's why we get resentful. We get resentful because we resent ourselves. I get resentful because I hate sometimes the choices that I make that put me in positions that I don't like. Like, I'm like, damn, I made this choice. I can't blame nobody for this choice I just made. And now I hate this choice. So if I'm hating this choice, I need to make a new choice. Like, you know, like you take away the power from anything outside of yourself, because now it's just you making decisions. And it sucks. It sucks to be accountable for the decisions that you make, but like, I would rather do that than be like a zombie to my decisions. You know, and be a zombie to some shit that just isn't for me. And I guess that also goes back to like how we feel in like religious context. A lot of the ways that we're taught spirituality, it makes it easier for us to control or be controlled. I mean, it makes it easier for us to be controlled. So we find ourselves living lives that we can't stand. But we can't stand our lives because of the things that we were taught, or we make decisions around the initial beliefs that we were given. We make decisions that don't serve us. We make decisions that make us unhappy. We make decisions. We live in ways that aren't true to ourselves because they're not true to ourselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because what is supposed to be true to ourselves has already been demonized. It's already been, you know, you've already been attacked for that. That's why you see some people, like, I feel like a lot of men have really negative relationships to feminine energy because they were told there's something wrong with femininity. Again, we live in a society that is based on Christian, patriarchal, white supremacist beliefs. That's the society that we live in. We live in a patriarchal, white supremacist, Anglo, Christo-Saxon, whatever the fuck society. So a lot of our beliefs are rooted in that. A lot of women walk around with internalized misogynoir. A lot of people walk around with internalized homophobia. People walk around with things that keep them from living a life that they're supposed to live. So to deconstruct that shit sometimes leads to you being demonized for being different than what the mold is. But the mold isn't serving any of us. We live a life that doesn't serve us. We are unhappy. Unhappy people want everybody else to be unhappy just like them, because they have not unlearned the things that make them unhappy. They have not regained free will over their choices. Free will over your choice means that you utilize the experiences that you have to your advantage. Are you truly free if you're not making choices that serve you? Are you truly free? Are you truly free if you sit down or you lay awake? Are you truly free if you lay awake at night hating yourself for the decisions that you make? Are you free? Are you truly free if you can't look in the mirror? Are you free? Are you free if you hate what you see? Are you free? No. Because you haven't reclaimed your life. Your life is lived according to what everyone else told you your life is supposed to be. Everyone else is fucking unhappy. Nobody would be telling you how to live your life if they weren't unhappy. That was the key for me to free myself. And that's the key for me to not hold on to resentment. Or let me not say that, because again, I can be a very resentful person. Like, I'd be scared to know how deep hatred could go for me, because I like to live within, you know what I'm saying? This is a different thought. I'm just going on. But for me, right, I choose to live my life a certain way. I choose to do things in quote unquote the light. I consider myself a light worker. You know, I like to choose to do things that benefit me and others versus to do things that don't. Or I like a gray area. Like, I don't like to do nothing spitefully. I don't like to do nothing with hatred in mind, because I believe that energy manifests more situations, you know? But because I like to do that, I always have the option of like the worst thing ever. It's a conscious choice that I make every day to live a peaceful life. Like, I choose to live in peace. I choose peace. It's a choice. You create a life that caters to that choice. That's the same thing with chaos. Because I choose to live in peace, I've had to work through a lot of chaos. So that being said, choosing to live in light means that you have to work through a lot of darkness, a lot of dark thoughts, a lot of dark feelings. I've had to transmute those feelings, and I can understand where people take a different path, because those feelings are bad. There's people who kind of sink in that shit. Misery in itself. People sink in misery. People allow misery to swallow them up. They need other people who are as miserable as them to feel content in their misery. So misery is one of those energies that like steers your thought patterns in a certain way, or thoughts open up. It's the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, thoughts open up because of the path and the choices that you're making. So I don't like to lean in those energies too much, because I know that energy could really fuck your mind up, like fuck the way that you do things up. Like, you get comfortable doing things through you get comfortable acting out of misery. You get comfortable acting out of fear. So living in peace means that you're tested often, because overall, collectively, most of us aren't taught to be happy. It's easier to steer us when we're not happy. Joy, I feel like, is at our fingertips, but I don't think that, let me not say joy isn't a feeling that comes naturally. It's a choice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when we are miserable, it's a choice, but that's the more encouraged choice. Life hits you, you get miserable. That's the encouraged choice. You break out the mold. It's weird. You break out the mold of anything, you become weird. You become odd. You become a social pariah. There's certain things in the society that has been normalized that I feel like is extremely unhealthy. But because it's normalized, anything that you do outside of that mold is weird. And then you have to look at what the society is built on. This society has been built on misery. Overall, our very beginnings, the very beginnings of the way that we know life is built on extreme misery. And it just like, it's been sewn into us over generations to continuously lean towards misery, or to make the same choices that our ancestors have made. We don't truly seek freedom, because freedom is within the mind, I would say. You free your mind, you change your life. You change your mind, you change your life. Like, I really believe that. Your mind holds so much more power, and that's why we were trained to think in certain ways. We were trained to think in certain ways. because it serves society for us to think in certain ways. We make choices around those thoughts. Change your mind, you change your life because you change your choices. Free will is in your choices. Everyone has the power of choice. We just got to get creative sometimes, and that's the hard part. If you're not taught to think creatively, then it's harder to escape your choices. Because again, we all train to think in certain ways. Like I was talking about this yesterday. Like social climbing is a energy that I like to talk about. Like with social climbing, the way you're taught to network and socially climb is to smooth up to this person, smooth up to that person because they got this thing, smooth up to this person because they got that thing. But I feel like for me, someone who thinks outside of that box, that lens, I feel like that shit is so much more difficult than just waiting it out. Like, it's so much more difficult than just allowing life to work out how it's supposed to work out for you. Because now you have to put on these masks, and you got to put up these fronts, and you got to do all this work, and you got to allow things you don't want to allow. Like, that is how we're taught things is supposed to be. We're taught to do things in that way, but it exhausts so much more energy to be manipulative. It exhausts mad energy. You do not you do not have energy for yourself after doing all that shit. And I was telling my friend, like, this is why we see the celebrities as we know them falling. The thing that they created was an illusion. It wasn't real. All that social climbing, all that fronts, all the things that they showed us, all the facades, it wasn't real. Because it's not stable. It's not stability for real. There's no stability in none of that shit. There's no stability. Because it's not an authentic life. An authentic life is built brick by brick. You're prepared for the things that you're creating brick by brick. To rush it according to this reality, and that's where I be saying, to rush it according to this reality is like making a deal with the devil. The devil is this reality. The evil we're taught is the way that we're living, essentially, to me. Because I'm like, essentially, we are living a life of hell. Like, none of us are happy. This is not a good life. Like, you gonna tell me ideas of hell like we not already living it? You telling me some of our ancestors weren't already living in hell? What are you talking about? How are you telling me about hell when people were on this earth being tortured? When people were on this earth being worked to the bone? Like, this was actually hell. So we see it and it transforms, and we're just like, oh, like, evil is this, evil is that. No, it's us trying to live according to the society standards. It's never been built on anything good. So when you see these celebrities who have, quote unquote, successfully obtained the wealth, obtained the fame through all of this, like, brick by no, my God. Hold on. I'm getting really passionate. When people have, like, obtained all this bullshit through all the social climbing and all the favors and all the weird shit, you telling me that's not them making a deal with something very dark? Because now look at them falling. It seemed easy for them, but it wasn't. It exhausted a lot more energy. And that's where I'm saying, like, society will encourage you to do a lot more dark shit than it will for us to work towards peace. But peace is more sustainable. Creating a life that you enjoy is so much more sustainable, despite how the world will judge you for it. People do not be happy. People are miserable. So for you to break out that mold, you must be proud of yourself. Yeah. Like, you should be proud of yourself, because the things that have been sold to us as being easy never was. It's not sustainable. It has never been sustainable. It was never built on something sustainable. And we watch it fall apart. Everything built on an illusion must fall apart, and it will. Anything built on lies will fall apart because it's not the truth. It's not real. So that is Sam Sensi in Sessions. Sessions adjourned. Please come back.